Click on the subscribe button, and press the bell icon, to never miss any updates.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm sorry, it looks like I'm talking to myself here. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, wa salatu wassalam ala Rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. First, I would like to welcome every one of you, whether you are representing a consulate, like Turkish consulate in here, we welcome them, or you are representing the mayor's office, elected officials, or representing organizations. All of you are welcome and thank you for being with us today. We appreciate your support. We appreciate your being in the front line with us, with the Muslim community. And we see that we can depend on you, and we appreciate really that. I remember the first time I gave khutbah, that was a long time ago. It was the first time in my life, and I was holding the paper, and I was so nervous, and the paper was shaking like this. And the khutbah was about the hellfire and so on, and I told them, you see, I am so afraid that I'm shaking in front of you. So I feel like shaking also in here, because I really can't see you very well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stated in Surah Al-Baqarah, in Surah Al-Kahf, بعد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات إنا لا نضيع أجر من أحسن عملا أولئك لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار أولئك لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار يحلون فيها من أساور من ذهب ويلبسون ثيابا خضرا من سندس واستبرق متكئين فيها على الأرائك نعم الثواب وحسنت مرتفقا. In this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing Al-Jannah. And Al-Jannah, as you may know, we cannot really see with our sight. We cannot see with our eyes. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing it so well in many verses in the Quran that it makes it as though it is visible to our eyes when we make the picture of it in our minds. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us one thing through the description of Al-Jannah. What He's describing to us is telling us you have to think and you see with your mind rather than you see only with your eyes. So our minds are mainly to think, to see, and to plan. Our Muslim community, as we can see it, we have a lot of things that we need to work together. We have a lot of challenges in front of us. But in Majlis Ash-Shura, what we would like to do is what the brother was reading, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا, and hold firm to the rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and do not disperse. Our role as Muslims, every single one of us, every single person who is here, who is not here, whether we like it or we don't, you are or we are ambassadors of Islam, and we have to take that role seriously. And the seriousness of that role, the first thing of it is to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when He asks us, وَاعْتَصِمُوا, it's an order from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make sure that we are holding on His rope. And to hold on His rope is mainly to be in focus that whatever we do, we have to support each other in the sake of Allah, not for any other cause. The Majlis has to be in the same picture as everyone else. And we are looking at, when we say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes Al-Jannah, describes Al-Nar, it gives us, the Quran gives us the vision of what we are expecting after death. But we, as Muslims, we should not just plan what is going to happen after death, even though it is the most serious part that we should be working for. However, we have to plan in our life, for our life, for those who come after us, even though we may not be ready to think about them. Sometimes we forget ourselves. We think only in the frame in which we live. We think only in the environment, just at the extent of our sight. But the fact is, we'll have to have a vision. That vision has to be vivid in front of us, has to be right there so that everyone can see it, and the Muslim community cannot work together unless they share the same vision. And if we don't have the same vision, we will be clashing with each other. Understanding what we want to achieve, understanding what we want to reach, understanding how we should work. What is our goal? How can we reach that goal? This is what the Majlis is trying to do, is to have the Muslim organizations in the Majlis as a part of the Majlis, and then we share the same values, we share the same vision, and we work together. That is the most important for us. We have our challenges. We have the youth. We have the drugs. We have different problems, but the Majlis is trying to see and to make sure that the Muslim community, and mainly those who are attending our meetings, those who are nearest to us, to share with us the same vision, to share with us the same thought and the same sight that we see through our planning. I will not be delaying too much on that, but Brother Raja, inshallah, will come later on to explain some of the projects that we have. But what I want to say in general is that we are concerned about a lot of things, internal and external. For the external things, I just want to say that what is happening in China, for example, it hurts. It touches everyone. What is happening in Burma, it touches everyone. What is happening in Syria or in Yemen or in anywhere in the Muslim world is touching us, whether we like it or we don't, whether we want it or we don't, whether we care about it or we don't. It is touching us. And we have to make sure that we are doing something about it. So there are those challenges. What are we preparing? I would like to ask you just one question, and think about it carefully. Where do you see yourself as a Muslim individual in the next 5 years? How do you vision yourself? What is the place you're gonna be? What is your role in making a change, a positive change in the Muslim community, or at least in your area? What do we see in the next 10 years? How do we evaluate, or we're going to be evaluating our Muslim community in the next 15, 20 years? Probably some of us will not be here, but we need really to think about it, because it is our role, our responsibility, our duty, our submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to think about the future. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always mentions to us that we have to think. أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ أَفَلَا تَتَكَرُونَ. These are for us to think and reflect on. So what we have is our challenges, or the challenges that we face. We have to face them as community. We cannot face them as individual. We'll have to face them as groups. We'll have to face them organized. We cannot face them. Everyone is wanting to be the leader, and then we don't have any leader amongst us. So that is one of the most important things that we want to see, is that we need to have a vision for our Muslim community. That vision is the plan for the future of the Muslim community. And when we talk about the future, it starts as of today. And we are responsible about the work today. We are responsible about the result tomorrow. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
ITV, Call of Peace, Save Humanity.